All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to open up by giving all the praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and preach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And this is the brother Amawan Ayash from the GMS Indianapolis camp coming back at you with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to entitle this lesson, Polygyny is Lawful or Biblical. And this I'm doing this video. I was listening to Elder Apostle Gabar this morning at the plantation, going to how going into IUIC teaching against us Israelite men have multiple wives, and and ultimately they're teaching monogamy, all right, for a man. When you deal with that word monogamy, okay, let's get it real quick. Which mono meaning one, okay, and one second. It says monogamy in the etymon. It says practicing or marrying only once in a lifetime. It says from French monogamy, from late Latin monogamia. It says from Greek monogamia. Single marriage from monogamous, marrying only once. And really, when you go into it, all right, monogamy is something that applies to women. All right. Now we understand that ultimately the only way a woman is loose from the law of her husband, like the scriptures say, is if that man dies. Right. Let's go there to Romans chapter 7 and beginning in verse 2. It says, "For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband." So ultimately, once again, monogamy or being married only once only applies to, all right, the woman. All right. And ultimately, us men, all right, the Lord has made it to where ultimately we're able to have multiple wives, man. You see, because ultimately we understand at the end of the day that it goes back to what? The commandment to be fruitful and multiply. You see? So when you put it into perspective, all right, when you have one woman and 12 men, all right, and they all lie down with her, what's going to happen? That seed is only going to be traced back to one of those 12 men. Okay? Therefore, that's going to bring in confusion. All right? Whereas on the flip side, if you have one man, okay, and 12 women, and that one man lays with all those women, guess what? The seeds that they conceive, or that those 12 women conceive, all go back to that one man. You see? So ultimately, that's how the Lord set it up from the beginning. All right, for men to have multiple wives. But as far as a woman, all right, she is bound to her husband as long as he liveth. All right, as we continue to read, verse 3. "So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another, she shall be called an adulteress," which is ultimately a sin, all right, worthy of death. It says, "But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man." So once again, the only way that a woman can be loose, all right, from the law of her husband is if that man dies, man. Okay, then she's free to marry another man. All right, but for the most part, these women are there to be monogamous, man. All right, ultimately, it's shameful, all right, and unlawful for these women, all right, how these women are now, for them to just be sleeping around, wanton, getting with all these different dudes, man. All right, like Yahweh Shai said, man, hey, this is a wicked and adulterous generation, man. So once again, monogamy, like it says, practice of marrying only once in a lifetime, that really applies to women. All right, now let's go back to the word polygyny, which when you deal with the word polygamy, all right, polygamy itself, Okay, it says marriage with more than one spouse. You see, which ultimately a man is allowed to do that. Okay, it says from late Greek polygamia, polygamy, from polygamos, often married, from polis, meaning many. It says and gamos, meaning marriage. It says the word is not etymologically restricted to the marriage of one man and multiple women, technically polygyny, but often used as a word. So ultimately, that's the reason why I entitled this lesson Polygyny, right? It's scriptural because polygyny is strictly referring to a man having many wives, right? It says a condition of having many wives. It says marriage or cohabitation of one man with more than one woman at the same time. It says from Greek polygenies, having many wives. From polys, meaning many. It says plus gene, meaning woman or wife. So ultimately, we understand that it is indeed lawful for a man to have multiple wives. So with that being said, okay, because the Lord is getting ready to bless his men, all right, with multiple women, all right, especially in the times that we're in, right? Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And when you go throughout the scriptures, a couple ways that reproach would be upon a woman was 1, if they were without a husband. Okay, and 2, if they were without children. Okay, that was something that caused women, all right, to be looked down upon. You see, so ultimately, like it says, only let us be called by thy name. And ultimately, we understand that in the act of marriage, all right, the woman takes on the name of her husband. You see, and also we understand marriage, right, goes into what? Sex. You see, being joined unto one another. All right, and a man is joined into a woman, like the scriptures talk about. A man shall cleave unto his wife, and there should be no more twain but one flesh. All right, that takes place, all right, through the process of sex. All right, when a man plants his rod right inside a woman's vagina, right, that's when they become one flesh. All right, and he cuts the hymen, right? Ultimately, that is the process of a man and woman becoming become a husband and wife. All right, being married. All right. So let's go from there to the book of Isaiah. I want to say chapter 32. And verse 2. It says, and the man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So we understand that we in the times where ultimately men are going to be sought after are for protection by these women. You see, and ultimately not just any men are really, okay, the men of the Lord, because that's whom the Lord is going to be with, man, in that day. Okay, so you might have these individuals, out there, these men out there who, may know or have knowledge with guns and weapons and survival and things of that nature, right? But if the Lord is not with them, okay, they're not going to survive. You see, so these women are they're going to be flocking to the men of the Lord, man, because the men of the Lord, man, they're the ones that's going to survive through this, man, and ultimately, hey, the women whom the Lord allows to be taken under the wing, all right, they're going to survive this, man. So let's go from there to Isaiah, the 13th chapter, and verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Right. So ultimately the stocks, and this isn't just dealing with any man. All right. These are dealing with the men of the Lord. So the stocks of the men of the Lord are going to shoot up in that day. And all kinds of women are going to be flocking towards the men of the Lord. All right, going back to that Isaiah 4:1, where it says that 7 women shall take hold of one man. Meaning what? In that day, all right, the Israelite men is going to have many women. Right? Now, when you deal with the law, it tells you, there's a couple scriptures in the law I'm thinking of, all right, in the cases where, all right, you have multiple wives, which that's the main reason I'm bringing them out, to show you that ultimately, even in the ancient days, us men, we had multiple wives. So, Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10, it says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Like I said, if he take him another wife, going to show you that what ultimately, at the end of the day, it was law. It was and it is still lawful. All right, for us Israelite men to have more than one woman. All right, you just got to provide for them equally. All right, that's what the scripture is going into. Right, so let's go from there to the book of I want to say it's Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter. And yep, beginning to verse 15. It says, if a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. So going to show you once again, all right, like it says, if a man have two wives, which ultimately, hey, we're going to have more than two wives, right? But when you deal with this law, all right, no matter which woman, all right, the firstborn came from, ultimately, at the end of the day, the right of the firstborn belongs to the firstborn. Okay, but I brought this out going to show you that what ultimately in the ancient days, all right, we did have multiple women. All right, and hey, that's coming back, all right, in its perfection, you know, and it's gonna be in its perfection in the kingdom. All right, all our women are gonna serve us. All right, do our bidding, do our will, man. You see, and they're gonna be faithful and loyal to only us, man. You see, so hey, man, hey, this monogamy bullshit that IUIC is trying to push on men, you know, for one, we understand that's to cater to the woman of this world, okay, and that's some bullshit that Esau pushed forth, man. This monogamy bullshit, man, okay, that goes against the nature of a man. You see, a man was always intended to have more than one woman. That's how the Lord created it. All right, and that's how we truly be fruitful and multiply. As a matter of fact, let me grab this and Isaiah, the 45th chapter, and verse 18. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that created the heavens, the Most High himself formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and there is none else. Right, so ultimately the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, formed the Lord to be inhabited. Now, of course, you know, when it comes to sex, all right, pleasure comes with it, right, between the man and the woman. All right, but ultimately the purpose of sex is what? Reproduction, right? Like when Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, when it goes into the pleasure that came with sleep, right? You see, so when a man lies with a woman, guess what, man? There's pleasure in that, man. You see, it makes the man and the woman feel good. You see, and ultimately, when all is said and done, we understand that the purpose of sex, right, is reproduction. Okay, and in the kingdom, all right, it's going to be a lot of reproducing, man. Okay, Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 22, it says, a little one shall become 1,000 and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, will hasten it in his time. So, hey, man, each Israelite man in the kingdom of heaven, all right, we're going to have so many children that it's going to be as if ultimately we're producing our own nation, man. You see? So that lets us know that in the kingdom, man, there's going to be a lot of reproduction, all right, a lot of sex, right? And ultimately, many children are going to be born, man. You see? So in order for this to happen, guess what, man? A man has to be given multiple women, okay, in order to be fruitful and multiply. You see? So enough with this monogamy bullshit, because, hey, man, you know, these dudes, man, they trying to cater to the feelings of the modern day woman, right? But, hey, man, hey, back in the ancient days, man, okay, hey, our woman was bringing a woman unto us, right? Let's get some examples, man. You know, This is Genesis chapter 16, beginning in verse 1. It says, Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, that it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. So ultimately, hey man, the woman in the ancient days, all right, they had handmaids and gave them to their husbands, all right, that they may have children by them. You see, so this soft and monogamous mindset, man. All right, these bullshit that these pander bears are pushing, man. All right, it ain't scriptural, man. All right, our woman was fetching us other women in the ancient days, man, and that's gonna come back. You see, because, hey, our wives, man, they're going to fetch us other wives. They're going to fetch us maids, concubines in the kingdom, man. You know? Hey, when we deal with the story of our forefather Jacob, right? And I want to say it's Genesis, the 29th chapter. Give me 1 second. Slack it, bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to see where to start. It might be in the next chapter. Yep, we'll just get these few verses in Genesis 30. It's Genesis chapter 30, beginning in verse 1. It says, And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, because when you go into the previous chapter, the Lord saw that Leah was hated and Rachel was loved. So Leah, she was made fruitful, right? And Rachel was made barren, all right? It says, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in the Most High stead, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? And she said, Behold my maid Bilhah, and go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. So, hey, man, hey, our women in the ancient days, they had no problem, all right, giving their handmaids unto us, all right, to have seed with. You see? So, once again, hey, man, this is going to come back, man. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, our wives, they're going to fetch us maids and concubines, all right, and fetch them for us, man. And guess what? We're going to they're going to bear our seed, man. You know? So once again, hey, the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai always intended for the Israelite man to have multiple women, man. Okay, now let's get some examples, all right, in the scriptures where Israelite men have multiple women, right? Let's go here. I want to say this is Judges, the 8th chapter. Yep, this is Judges chapter 8, and beginning in verse 29, it says, In Jerubbaal, which Jerubbaal, that's another name for Gideon, all right, which when you go into it, Gideon got that name for taking down the altar of Baal at that time. It says, And Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, went and dwelt in his own house, and Gideon had 70 sons, which 70 sons translate to 70, right? A score is 20, so 70 multiply 20 times 3, okay? You get 60, it says in 10, all right, you add 10, you have 70. So Gideon has 70 sons. It says And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. You see, so ultimately, it was normal and natural for an Israelite man to have multiple wives, right? It says, and his concubine, because hey man, we're gonna get concubines too. All right. We had concubines back then, man. And guess what, man? In the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna have concubines, man. It says, and his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. You see? So, hey, man, we're going to have many wives, many concubines, and that's how the Lord always intended, right? And to prove that we're going to have concubines, let's go here to Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter, and beginning in verse 10. It says, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power hath delivered them to thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that shalt thou go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. You see, in ultimate, we're going to practice this in the kingdom, okay? With all the heathen women, right? So let's go from there, okay? Because we're going to grab some more examples real quick, showing our Israelite men having multiple wives throughout the scriptures, right? Let's see here. I might be in the wrong chapter. Let me go back to chapter 3. Slacky, bear with me 1 minute. Yep, this is 2 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 13. It says, and David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born unto David. So even back then, man, King David himself, man, he was being fruitful and multiplying. All right, with the many wives and concubines he had. All right, that's how he was able to have so many sons and daughters, man. All right, because he had multiple women. You see? So once again, polygyny, all right, is scriptural. Okay, and guess what, man? It's going to happen on this side, beginning on this side, and lead into the kingdom. Isaiah 4 and 1 that is, right? Isaiah 4 and 1 is going to take place on this side during the time of trouble, and it's going to continue on in the kingdom. Okay, so let's also go here to 2 Samuel, all right, chapter 12, which this is after David had Uriah killed and committed adultery with Bathsheba. So when it's a certain point I want to get. We'll start at verse 7. The point is in 8. It says, and Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus said the Lord, power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul, and I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives. You see that? Wives, plural. It says, into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And here's the point, and if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. So, David, he already had wives and concubines. So the Lord is telling him, now, ultimately, in this story, that ultimately the Lord is telling David that he didn't even need to have Uriah killed. All right, he didn't need to go into Bathsheba. All David had to do was ask the Lord for more women, and the Lord would have gave it to him. That's going to show you that ultimately the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is with us, having multiple women. All right, and that's scriptural. Okay, so let's go from there to the book of Isaiah. So like not Isaiah. We'll grab I already read Isaiah. Salakia. Let's go to First Kings. Salakia. First Kings chapter 11 and beginning in verse 1. It says, "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites," which these are all heathens, right? So ultimately, they will be known as King Solomon's concubines. All right, any woman that is not of the nation of Israel, all right, would they will be known as our concubines, right? Wife of lesser status. Right? Verse 2, "Of the nations concerning which the Lord Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love." So the issue here, in this instance, wasn't the fact that Solomon had many women, is that Solomon's heart was turned after the gods of his women. You see, those women, they got into Solomon's ear. And when you read further on, all right, goes to show you that Solomon turned his heart away from the Lord, the Heavenly Father Yahweh. All right. Verse 3, it says, "And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines." So that's 1,000 women in total. You see? So that's the least amount of women that each Israelite man is going to have in the kingdom. It says, "And his wives turned away his heart." It says, "For when it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord Yahweh his power, as was the heart of David his father." And you can read further into it. But once again, the issue wasn't the fact that Solomon had multiple women, is that his heart was turned away after after the gods which his women served. Okay? So ultimately, the Lord, he don't have a problem, okay, with us having wives and concubines. Okay? So in the kingdom, all right, we're going to have women, all right, of our nation and of the other nations. You see? Just that once again, all right, the problem was that, when Jake would get with heathen women, all right, their hearts would be turned away after the gods of those heathen women. But that's not going to be in the case in the king. That's not going to be the case in the kingdom, because what? Ultimately, we're going to be perfect, right? Like the scripture saying in Isaiah 60, "Thy people shall be all righteous." And ultimately, we're going to have that new covenant within us, man. You see? So ultimately, we won't be turned away from serving Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua in the kingdom. Okay? So ultimately, we're going to have, all right, multiple wives of all the nations, man. So let's go from there to Matthew the 19th chapter, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking, right? Matthew chapter 19, and beginning in verse 28, and we'll start at verse 27. It says, "Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which shall follow me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the tribes of Israel." And here's the point of verse 29. "And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife," all right, keep that in mind as we continue to read, "or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life." So, if we endure to the end and follow Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua to the very end, guess what? Everything we lost on this side, I guess what? We're going to get it back. We're going to get those things back in a hundredfold. You see? So guess what? That includes wives as well. So what does that mean in the kingdom? As Israelite men, okay, we're going to have many, many, many wives. All right, as many wives as we would like, man. So let's go from there to the book of Psalms. I believe it's the 100 and either 121 or 124. No, it's got to be 121, I believe. No, it's not 121. Let's see. Let's try this. It's 128. This is Psalms chapter 128, And verse 3, it says, thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. So ultimately, hey man, hey, like it says, thy wife shall be a fruitful vine. Guess what, man? Our women, guess what? They're going to be producing, all right, a lot of seed, man. All right, that's going to happen by way of a lot of sex. All right, and then when we get, guess what's going to happen, man? We're going to lay with them. All right, put seed in them. All right, they're going to conceive our seed and give birth, all right, to many of our sons and daughters, man. You see? So ultimately, this is going to be in its perfection in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So, hey, man, this monogamy bullshit that the IUIC is selling, man, is completely against the scriptures, man. You know? So, hey, without further ado, man, I'm going to close out right there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the body, and I pray that you got something out of this. And without further ado, I'd like to close out by giving all the praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who will well and preach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And the Lord's will see you in the next lesson. Until then, I say shalom.